Assalamu alaikum. This is a follow-up to a video I did earlier, which was about the concept of time in the Quran, especially how the Quran tells us stories of the prophets and stories of ancient peoples, but it asks us to recall them almost as if they are our own memories that we're recalling. So it kind of brings a closeness between us and those stories of the prophets. So today I'm going to talk about time again, but it's going to be in a different level. We'll talk about meta-historical religion. And this is something which, in a way, all Muslims are familiar with, because if you've read the Quran and the verses I'll refer to in the Quran, you already know about this. I'll maybe talk about it to bring out certain aspects of it. And these are very important concepts, so I'll probably touch upon them again and again in future videos, elaborating and going into more detail on them. So, in the Quran, the key events which determine humankind's metaphysical makeup all take place outside the flow of time as we know it. So they take place in a different plane of existence than this material plane, in a kind of trans-historical or meta-historical plane where time has a different flow and flux, so that the relation of that world to this must be viewed as a hierarchical rather than a linear relationship. Now, one of these events is the creation of Adam, which every Muslim will know about, and the teaching of the names to him. So the Quran says, "Your Lord said unto the angels, I am about to create a mortal out of mud, out of mire. And when I have fashioned him and breathed into him of my spirit, then fall down before him prostrate. And we taught Adam the names or the realities of all things." So these events take place outside of the flow of history as we understand it. So they are metaphysical rather than exclusively physical in nature. They are metaphysical answers to the question of the essential nature of humanity. What is it to be human in the deepest sense of the word? What lies at the foundation of humankind's essential nature? What potentials exist within humankind, within us? Islam is not a religion that's rooted in a single historical event through which God enters history. Instead, key events take place outside of history, in a kind of pre-eternity, in a different hierarchy, a different plane, a different level of existence, and then a descent to this world takes place through which these timeless events and the truths that they contain enter into the realm of cause, effect, and chronological linear time in which we live in this world. The pre-eternal covenant made between God and the human spirits, that is all of the descendants of Adam, is one such defining occurrence that presents a metaphysical paradigm expressing archetypal truths that are symbolic of humanity's core nature. And this is expressed in the Quran in the form of a question which God asks all of the human spirits before allowing them to enter into the physical plane of existence. He asks, "Am I not your Lord?" They answer in the affirmative, the implication being that everyone who was born into this world has agreed in substance, in the essence of their soul, to this covenant that takes place outside of our time, above time, where every human being ever to enter into existence is brought before God and asked that question. And although we may have no conscious knowledge or memory of this pact, its reality is woven into our nature, into our very nature. So beyond that, we have been allowed to participate in the decision pertaining to our own creation within the matrix of matter. We were given a say in our entry into this world of being and the choice of accepting the responsibility that accrues to it. Now, this world is a place of distraction and forgetfulness, but within our deepest heart, within our deepest self, lies the metaphysical truth of this covenant. And one of the purposes of walking the path of traditional religion is to awaken to consciousness and awareness of this existential bond that is between God and humans, as well as all of the concealed potentials that flow from this bond. All of the prophets have come throughout the entirety of history to remind humanity of their promise of fidelity to this pact, this covenant. The Quran often refers to itself as a reminder, as a call towards taqwa, a true consciousness, a true awareness of the divine, towards an awakened, aware consciousness. Now, A third event that's spoken of in the Quran is humankind's acceptance of the trust that was offered to them by God. We did indeed offer the trust to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, but they refused to undertake it, being afraid thereof. But humankind undertook it, the trust. That's Quran 33, 72, 73. So these key events all deal with the metaphysical nature and capacity with which humankind is created. A concurrent event, which is the teaching of the names of the realities of all things to Adam, is an indicator that within humankind, within their makeup, within their primordial, their metaphysical makeup, exist vast storehouses of knowledge, or a capacity for knowledge, through which they can comprehend mysteries that perhaps even the angels do not comprehend, which is signified by the angels' unawareness of the meaning of the names or realities and the signifiers of reality that were known by Adam, and their bowing before Adam in acknowledgement of the different capacities and purpose residing in Adamic humanity, the humanity that emerged from Adam. The Quran constantly urges humankind to engage in this process of remembering, to become aware of their inner nature through this remembrance, and to awaken that nature to the extent possible, because it'll differ with each person and their circumstances, but to the extent possible within each individual, given their particular personal and historical circumstances. So as mentioned, these pre-eternal events are events that are perfectly real. Right? They're not myths or fantasies. They're something that occurred, but in a way that we can't understand, because that other plane of existence is a place where symbols have a reality, where things have a reality, but we can only understand them rather through symbols. So events that are perfectly real without taking place in historical time. So if time is considered as a horizontal progression, these events take place along a vertical axis, one which stands hierarchically above all times and all places. So humankind's essence, because of their origin and their nature, participate in this hierarchy. Their actions, their movements, mental and physical, in this world, and the state of their nafs, their self, their soul, their essential self, that results from those actions has an impact on the full substance of their being throughout its vertical axis. The Quran attempts to awaken us to this hidden aspect of ourselves. So it's a reminder to a humanity that is sleeping, and in that state forgets and then rejects and then builds a society of denial, a denial of their truest, most essential aspects. And the Quran is a call for us to awaken from our amnesia, our forgetfulness regarding the consequential and important nature of our being. It's a reminder that beyond the horizontal aspect of our existence, in other words, beyond our wanderings back and forth to and fro in this world, there's a truly vast vertical dimension, an unseen ocean of possibilities and nascent potentials. As the Quran says, and in yourselves, what do you not see? Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.